Are some people born charismatic, or is it a skill that can be learned over time? Let's explore the science behind charisma and what makes someone truly magnetic. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video where we're going to explore the insights around charisma and connecting with who you authentically are. Before we do that, let's jump into Max Weber's idea of what charisma actually is. Now, in the research that I've done, Max Weber was one of the first people to come or to almost define what charisma is. And he says that it is something that sets somebody apart. Now, that's a question for you to begin to think about is what sets you innately apart? And I believe, we'll get to this at the end of the video, but what I really believe is that that is what your true charisma is that unique essence of you that really sets you apart. So what is charisma to you? Okay. And do you think that it is innate, or is it something that you can learn over time? Now, there are two schools of thought, whether charisma is innate and something that we can learn over time. And if we start having a look at what the psychoanalysts believe, so the psychoanalysts believe that charisma is actually something that is innate, that you're born with. And you're born with it because it's almost a sense of survival. Now, if you think about a baby, babies are truly beautiful and magnetic. And what makes them so? It's all these social releases they have, the crying and the cooing and, the smiling, maybe not the crying, but the smiling. All of these innate, cute characteristics they're born with because they need it for survival. So they need it in order to get that attention from their parents. They needed to have that sense of belonging because they need people in order for them to survive. So you're born with that unique charisma, that characteristic and that trait. And as they develop, that charisma then begins to develop, because you want to belong, and that love and affection that children often give. They're truly wonderful, aren't they, in their play, and they just exuding who they authentically are. And the psychoanalysts believe that that's because they're wanting to form that sense of connection with people. And as they develop over time, as we develop over time, it becomes this quiet sense of confidence and affection that later then emerges into who we authentically are, the greater sense of ourselves. Now, what they go on to say, the psychoanalyst, is that often what happens is that parental deprivation in any form, so whether it's attention or they're not there, they need to create another sense of defense mechanism for their survival. So often what we do is we create that defense mechanism because we don't have a parent, for example, to look after us. The next best thing, we're born with this innate ability to bring people towards us, is they over exaggerate that innate ability because they don't have that sense. There's that lack within them from that deprivation, and they exude it because they're wanting to form that connection outside of the nuclear family. So that's why the psychoanalysts believe that we are sort of, we're born with it, that innate survival instinct, so to speak. So the exercise I'd like to invite you to do now for me, if it is your wish and will, is to write down the moments when you feel in your life you were truly magnetic, when you were truly magnetic and engaged. And think about, were they innate characteristics, or were they the characteristics that were learned? Now, if we look at the behaviorists, now behaviorists believe that charisma is something that we learn through something called positive, through operant conditioning principles, through positive reinforcement and punishment. So if you, for example, are in that innate, excited sense of, being yourself, and you're exuding yourself, and your parents are positively reinforcing that, and they're rewarding you, you're going to continue to do that. It's going to increase the likelihood of the behavior taking place again. Whereas the opposite is if you are being punished for that, if they're telling you to be quiet, then you are not going to, you're going to stop the likelihood of that behavior taking place again. So the second exercise that I'm going to invite you to do is I'm going to invite you to look at your behaviors from when you were growing up and look at which of those behaviors were praised and which of those behaviors were maybe punished, and start to begin to develop that sense of awareness around, is my personality something that was created through praise, or was it something that was created through punishment? Now, what do I think? Now, I have a very different slant to this. What I really believe is that your charisma is that which you are born with. That's that characteristic, that's that sense of really truly being yourself and exuding that. We look at the characteristics of charisma, it's people who smile, people who are they walk into the room and they have that quiet sense of confidence. All of these skills that we can learn, yes, through our experience and through being taught how to do this, they really do come from that sense of truly being yourself and knowing yourself. That's that true sense of connection, I believe, is that which your true charisma is. So my tip for you today is that every situation, ask yourself, how can I be who I authentically am in this moment? And begin to notice the shifts around what it truly feels like to be charismatically you, when you're truly being you. That's my tip for you today. And remember, guys, that your charisma is something that can be unveiled. And I'd love to hear about, even better, if you want to share your tips in the comments below. We'd love to learn from you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, really uncovering, what's the science behind charisma, but understanding, what is that for you? It is all about the noticing and the awareness. That's the first tip. That's the insight that we need in order for us to unveil our charisma. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video where we unveil your charisma, one insight at a time. See you soon, guys. Bye.